This is an original text. The text contains adult language and situations that may be offensive by today's standards, but were considered appropriate during the 1950s when Arthur Miller wrote this text. The Crucible, Act 2, Part 6. Play so far. Giles Corey and Rebecca Nurse's husband arrive at the Proctors to say that their wives have been arrested for witchcraft. Rebecca Nurse has been charged with murdering Mrs. Putnam's stillborn babies. Just then, officers of the court arrive to arrest Elizabeth Proctor. They find the poppet that Mary gave Elizabeth with a pin stuck in it and insist that it is proof that Abigail collapsing and pulling a pin out of her flesh earlier in the evening. Elizabeth goes to get Mary to have her testify that the doll is hers.
To Hale.
Now, sir, do you have it?
Mary Warren, a needle have been found inside this puppet.
Bewildered.
Why, I meant no harm by it, sir.
Quickly.
You stuck that needle in yourself?
I believe I did, sir.
To Hale.
What say you now?
Watching Mary Warren closely.
Child, you are certain this be your natural memory? Mary, it may it be, perhaps, that someone conjures you even now to say this?
Conjures me? Why, no, sir. I am entirely myself, I think. Let you ask Susanna Walcott. She saw me sewing it in court. Or better still, ask Abby. Abby sat beside me while I made it.
To Hale of Cheever.
Bid him be gone. Your mind is surely settled now. Bid him out, Mr. Hale.
What signifies a needle?
Mary, you charge a cold and cruel murder on Abigail.
Murder? I charge no.
Abigail were stabbed tonight. A needle were found stuck into her belly.
And she charges me?
Aye.
Her breath knocked out.
Why, the girl is murder. She must be ripped out of the world.
Pointing at Elizabeth.
You've heard that, sir. Ripped out of the world. Herrick, you heard it.
Suddenly snatching the warrant out of Cheever's hand.
Out with you. Proctor, you dare not touch the warrant.
Ripping the warrant.
Out with you. You've ripped the deputy governor's warrant, man. Damn the deputy governor. Out of my house.
Now, Proctor!
Get ye gone with them. You are a broken minister.
Proctor, if she is innocent, the court...
If she is innocent? Why do you never wonder if Paris be innocent, or Abigail? Is the accuser always holy now? Were they born this morning as clean as God's fingers? I'll tell you what's walking Salem. Vengeance is walking Salem. We are what we always were in Salem, but now the little crazy children are jangling the keys of the kingdom, and common vengeance writes the law. This warrants vengeance. I'll not give my wife to vengeance.
I'll go, John.
You will not go.
I have 9 men outside. You cannot keep her. The law binds me, John. I cannot budge.
To Hale, ready to break him.
Will you see her taken?
Proctor, the court is just and...
Pontius Pilate, God will not let you wash your hands of this.
John, I think I must go with them.
He cannot bear to look at her.
Mary, there's bread enough for the morning. You will bake in the afternoon. Help Mr. Proctor as you were his daughter. You owe me that and much more.
He is fighting her weeping. To Proctor.
When the children wake, speak nothing of witchcraft. It will frighten them.
She cannot go on.
I'll bring you home. I will bring you soon.
Oh, John, bring me soon.
I will fall like an ocean on that court. Fear nothing, Elizabeth.
With great fear,
I will fear nothing.
she looks about the room as though to fix it in her mind.
Tell the children I've gone to visit someone sick.
She walks out the door, and Cheever behind her. For a moment, Proctor watches from the doorway. The clank of chain is heard.
Herrick! Herrick, don't chain her!
He rushes out the door from outside.
Damn you, man! You will not chain her! Off with them! I'll not have it! I will not have her chained!
There are other men's voices against his. Hale, in a fever of guilt and uncertainty, turns from the door to avoid the sight. Mary Warren bursts into tears and sits weeping. Giles Corey calls to Hale.
And yet silent, minister? It is fraud. You know it is fraud. What keeps you, man?
Proctor is half braced, half pushed into the room by two deputies and Eric.
I'll pay you, Herrick. I will surely pay you.
In God's name, John, I cannot help myself. I must chain them all. Now let you keep inside this house till I'm gone.
He goes out with his deputies. Proctor stands there, gulping air. Horses and a wagon creaking are heard. In a great uncertainty,
Mr. Proctor.
Out of my sight.
Charity, Proctor, charity. What I have heard in her favor, I will not fear to testify in court. God help me, I cannot judge her guilty or innocent. I know not. Only this consider. The world goes mad, and it profit nothing you should lay the cause to the vengeance of a little girl.
You are a coward. Though you be ordained in God's own tears, you are a coward now.
Proctor, I cannot think God be provoked so grandly by such a petty cause. The jails are packed. Our greatest judges sit in Salem now, and hangings promised. And we must look to cause proportionate. Were there murder done, perhaps, and never brought to light? Abomination? Some secret blasphemy that stinks to heaven? Think on cause, man, and let you help me to discover it. For there's your way. Believe it, there is your only way when such confusion strikes upon the world.
he goes to Giles and Francis.
Let you counsel among yourselves. Think on your village, and what may have drawn from heaven such thundering wrath upon you all. I shall pray God open up our eyes.
Hale goes out. Struck by Hale's mood,
I never heard no murder done in Salem.
he has been reached by Hale's words.
Leave me, Francis. Leave me.
Shaken,
John, tell me, are we lost?
Go home now, Giles. We'll speak on it tomorrow.
Let you think on it. We'll come early, eh?
Aye. Go now, Giles.
Good night, then.
Giles Corey go out after a moment. In a fearful squeak of a voice,
Mr. Proctor, very likely they'll let her come home once they've given proper evidence.
You're coming to the court with me, Mary. You will tell it in the court.
I cannot charge murder on Abigail.
moving menacingly toward her.
You will tell the court how that poppet come here and who stuck the needle in.
She'll kill me for saying that.
Proctor continues toward her,
Abby will charge lechery on you, Mr. Proctor.
halting.
She's told you.
I have known it, sir. She'll ruin you with it. I know she will.
Hesitating and with deep hatred of himself.
Good. then her saintliness is done with.
Mary backs from him.
We'll slide together into our pit. You will tell the court what you know.
In terror,
I cannot. They'll turn on me.
Proctor strides and catches her, and she is repeating, I cannot, I cannot.
My wife will never die for me. I will bring your guts into your mouth, but that goodness will not die for me.
Struggling to escape him,
I cannot do it. I cannot. I cannot.
grasping her by the throat as though he would strangle her.
Make your peace with it. Now hell and heaven grapple on our backs and all our old pretenses ripped away. Make your peace.
He throws her to the floor where she sobs, I cannot, I cannot. And now, half to himself, staring and turning to the open door.
Peace is a providence and no great change. We are only what we always were, but naked now.
He walks as though toward a gray horror, facing the open sky.
I, naked. Wind. God's icy wind will blow.
And she is over and over again sobbing, I cannot, I cannot, I cannot, as the curtain falls.
This has been the Crucible Act 2, Part 5.